have thought that one of the greatest villains from the Rising of the Shield Hero would be the friggin' Pope? Greetings, my friends. It's time to take a look at another episode of The Rising of the Shield Hero, an episode where Naofumi begrudgingly is going to try and make peace with the three other heroes, because if he doesn't, he's going to bring upon the wrath of the Chicken Queen, Fitoria. And it's going to be really difficult for him, because at the end of the last episode, Ren and Itsuki were seemingly killed in a massive Wile E. Coyote explosion, which leaves them dead, with Motoyasu completely pissed off, convinced that Naofumi is the one who did the dirty deed. It was inevitable that Naofumi was going to have another confrontation with Motoyasu. They've been building that up over the course of the last couple of episodes, and I myself have really been wanting to actually see this happen, because I hate Motoyasu a lot. He is a really dense and stupid character who simply just sees himself as the ultimate hero, and basically, he is just in the palm of Mind's hand. He is just being treated like a little puppet. He'll believe anything as long as it makes him out to look like a hero and to look really good in front of the ladies. He has a weird, twisted sense of justice, and even when he's presented with actual evidence and truth, he still doesn't believe it, especially when it comes from Naofumi. But this episode was pretty cool because we basically got to see Naofumi's team battling against Motoyasu's, and it was pretty exciting to say the least. I really liked that this was basically a cage match kind of fight. That's because out of nowhere, Mind just arrives roaring like a giant Cuntosaurus and decides to trap them all in this massive lightning prison. Basically, it's like Thunderdome, except that it'll shock your ass. And thus, the episode basically just de-evolves into a big, massive magic battle, which is really exciting, I do have to say. Like I said, I love that the characters are now using these combination techniques with one another, with Raftalia and Naofumi combining their abilities. I especially loved Melty and Philo working together, where they created a giant tornado. Basically, this episode was filled with a lot of satisfying moments, like seeing Raftalia slash Mine again, which again is always really satisfying to see. Anytime you can knock her down a peg or two, it's just, icing on the cake. I wish I could say more about Motoyasu's team. I mean, it's basically just a bunch of cute girls who use the same animated magic attacks over and over. They have no names or any discernible personalities, so I don't really have much of an attachment to them. And to be perfectly honest, they do jack shit in this episode. Aside from all the fighting, most of the episode consisted of Naofumi trying to desperately appeal to Motoyasu to try and make peace with him and to let him know that he wasn't the one who killed Ren and Itsuki. Someone else is behind all of that. And just like Naofumi, I actually thought that this was something that Mine had actually cooked up. I mean, she's the one who usually does these kind of underhanded things. I mean, she'll burn down an entire forest just to try and find and kill her sister. But eventually we do get a very big reveal at the end of the episode. In the middle of the battle, Philo realizes that something big is about to attack them. A massive blast is coming from the sky, and Naofumi has to use pretty much all of his shield abilities to not only hide his team, but also Motoyasu's from a giant, blinding flash of light. The same one which actually ended up taking out Ren and Itsuki, and they actually do manage to survive, but they only just barely make it through. They're literally standing in a smoldering crater, and it's revealed that the attacker is none other than the Pope of the Church of the Three Heroes. And they made it pretty clear in the beginning of the series that this church really had it out for the Shield Hero, but at this point, they really don't want any of these heroes around. They're basically planning on usurping the entire current government and going to rule it through their weird, freaky church rules. It's insane, and of course the Pope has a ridiculous look on his face, which makes him look like a stereotypical shit-eating villain, and he even has a big destructive sword, which apparently is going to be pretty big and destructive. So what's the rundown on this episode of The Rising of the Shield Hero? This was a pretty exciting episode, which was high on the action, which is something that I've definitely been wanting to see. Not the greatest action I've ever seen, but still it had some cool moments. I especially love that Naofumi actually had some new techniques in this episode, like he was able to use a brand new shield, which was sort of a manifestation of the Soul Eater's powers. It actually has the ability to suck up and eat the SP of his opponents, which he actually uses against Motoyasu. That moment was really awesome, but like I said, it was seeing the characters sort of combine all their various abilities that made it really awesome. Now, while the episode itself was exciting, I do felt that they spread it a little too thin. It was basically just them arguing throughout the episode and trading blows until we got the big reveal that, yes, the church is the bad guy. And when Popey McPoperton comes in, he just chews the scenery with how ridiculously evil he is. He goes into battle wearing his Pope robes and his Pope hat, and it's just insane. His overall plan of why they want to destroy the heroes is basically just because they've been an extreme failure, and a lot of this has to do with the ruling of the king. They're planning on installing like a brand new government and basically taking over everything. But honestly, if there was ever an excuse for these characters to finally start to team up and fight together, this is it right here. This is going to be the catalyst that I think is actually going to bring them together. And while they make it clear that Ren and Itsuki are dead, they're really not dead. I mean, come on. There's no way that they're going to snuff out those characters after they've had no opportunity to actually build them up for anything. I imagine in the next episode they're probably going to appear from nowhere and reveal some big secret about the church and why they've actually been attacking them. And like I said, this is the moment where the heroes are actually going to come together. Maybe even mine will stop being a little bit of a bitch. Maybe not, I don't know. Production value-wise, this was an okay-looking episode. There was a lot of action, but it really didn't blow me away, but it was, like I said, still kind of exciting to see these two teams fighting with one another. I said my only real complaint about this episode is that I don't like the character of Motoyasu, but the whole point of his character is that you're not supposed to like him. He's supposed to get under your skin and kind of piss you off, so mission accomplished, I guess. I fully expected that Mine was going to be behind all of this, and she was even shocked to see that the church was actually the one responsible for killing the other heroes and planning on destroying them as well. I can't wait to see how it's all going to go down, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm going to give this episode a 4 out of 5. You guys should check it out, and if any of you did watch the episode, I'd love to get your thoughts about it. You can tell me all of them in the comments section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of the Rising of the Shield Hero. Thank you all for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay dandy, baby.